Namaste, everybody. Welcome
Namaste.
back to our CF monthly meet, and it's a pleasure to have you all back here. मेरा आप सबसे request है before Ajay takes over, and I would request Rajesh also to come in and to introduce Ajay to all of us. But before that happens, I just want to share with you कि ये operational काम में अटक मत जाना जिससे तुम strategic meets में अपना ध्यान ना दे पाओ. So it's the beginning of the quarter. I suggest, request, order whatever you want to hear from me. कि आप टाइम निकालो 1 घंटा 2 घंटा हाफ अ डे 1 डे टू प्लान दिस क्वार्टर. अदरवाइज ऑपरेशन वर्क इतना है दैट यू विल गेट सक्ड इन, यू विल वो फावड़ागिरी चालू हो जाएगी और आगे 3 महीने की प्लानिंग आप नहीं कर पाओगे. सो बेसिक्स ऑफ बिजनेस हैज टू बी टेकन केयर ऑफ, दैट यू हैव द ऑपरेशनल साइड एंड यू हैव द स्ट्रेटेजिक साइड. सो फॉर योर operational side to go on well, I suggest that your strategic side has to have a very strong foundation. So don't start this quarter just like any other last few quarters which went by because of the pandemic. You were not planning, but this quarter I feel that you should plan. So with this, I now suggest request Rajesh, can you come on board and introduce our guest speaker for the day, Ajay? And since you have had a great time with him in the past and you know him very well, I thought who could be the better person than you to introduce Ajay to all of us.
So thank you very much, MG sir, for allowing me to introduce Ajay. It won't be more formal introduction because Ajay is more like a friend, or rather he's a friend. So, but still I would like to be little formal and little informal. So Ajay started his career, in fact we both started career together in SKF. Of course he is 1 year senior to me, and right from day one when we met, I know him as a very witty person. His sense of humor is like top class, and then after having different stints at SKF Pune, Ajay's, I think, biggest opportunity, I think, when he was asked to take care of SKF Ahmedabad. Because SKF Ahmedabad, as I know, when Ajay joined, it was in complete rut, it was in complete mess, completely loss-making unit. And Ajay completely turned it around.
Wow.
And I have seen that particular journey, because I have been going to Ahmedabad, meeting him quite frequently, talking to him, and in those days he informed me that he has also been selected by SKF Group for our global leadership program, which was one of its kind opportunity, I would say. And then that particular day came when we were told that Ajay have been moved to SKF Sweden, which is, I think, the achievement by itself, because he is the first non-Swedish person to be MD of SKF. I think that's an incredible achievement. So congratulations, Ajay, once again for this. But this is how his path so far. Now, we have been, it's almost 30 years that we know each other, and I have enjoyed a lot working with him. Of course, I worked with him in SKF only for 5 years, but you can imagine even after 30 years, we are as close as we were 30 years back. So that's what I just wanted to share about Ajay. I am sure you all will enjoy listening to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajesh, for such a wonderful introduction of your friend and our speaker for the day, and all participants, members of CF. Ajay is here with a wealth of knowledge to share with all of you. कल मेरी बात हुई उनसे, और जो मेरी बात हुई उसमें यह है कि there will be a lot of questions which I would like to ask after he finishes what he has to share with us. And I think वो आपके questions जो है ना, I think वो ऐसे powerful sharing होगी, because what I heard and I said no, let's have him tomorrow, and then whatever he has to share. And he also wanted to keep a lot of things for today. So I'm sure next 1 hour is going to be mesmerizing for all of us. So all over to you, Ajay, and I'm going to be there as a moderator for the questions, but you can take over right now.
And I'm a bit technology averse person, so I often fail when I deal with technology. and this Zoom and this thing is quite new to me. If I make some mistakes around, it's nothing to be blamed on the system, but it's me something trying to do. Never get successful around. But I will start doing that. First of all, thank you Manishji and thank you Rajesh for having me here. It's my pleasure, to come and share my experience. I was often shy in sharing this. I'm not a stage shy person. But then I realized from one of my mentor that I should start sharing because there are a lot of people probably wants to learn from others' experience, and that made me think. Then also if you are going to say listen to Lata Mangeshkar and uske baad koi gaon wala koi gaane ko aayega, then you will not like it. Then you are having a people like Manish ji as a great motivator, speaker, and having a huge strategy, business understanding. And the guy like Rajesh, I don't know, he is as successful in business as in his write-ups and his thought process and sharing so many things to students, to industries, to many people. Then having me here is kind of after Lata Mangeshkar, then someone else coming and singing the song. So you are putting me in kind of a difficult situation. Then I'm not good at any language. I have a very poor English language with me. I don't speak Hindi also very well, and Marathi also I struggle. So I'm not a language person. But they say I'm a great communicator. I don't know why they say, but I can communicate, and let's experience that. Anyone having trouble to understand English, Hindi, Marathi, so I can confuse in all the language. Just raise a hand, and if you don't understand due to thing, and I will share my fears also of language and how I overcome it, if at all someone has that fear too. But I'm very disturbed today actually, very, very disturbed. Because, I did a survey today, and in that survey, I asked the question, what is there on 2nd of October? 97% people actually wrote me, it's a dry day today. Only 3% talked about Mahatma Gandhi and Shastri Jayanti, and I must say that we need to change that perception of those 3% people and make it 100%. That today is a dry day in India. So that's kind of a humor, witty I carry. That's what Rajesh said. Now I have to live up to that expectation. So you don't need to laugh. You just need to understand that since someone told me that I am a witty, I will display that at some point of time. Coming back to my introduction to you. So let's start with the family part. So this is my family. Me and my wife and my daughter and son. My daughter is working in UK, and my son is staying with us and studying marketing management. And my wife, she used to be a mechanical engineer, but she's doing the most important job, being with us and taking care of us nowadays. That's the thing. If you look at my academics, so I'm a diploma in mechanical engineer. So I'm not a master's and management person, neither I went to Harvard and Oxford and anywhere. And my professional learning is I'm a certified Six Sigma Black Belt, a business excellence, and this is what I all learned in SKF. Doing business in Asia, where I was trained in China, in Singapore, in Sudan, and also IIMs in India. I am a quality academy certified. That means all the quality tools and practical part, I am aware of it. I was trained in global business factory. That means I moved to many factories within SKF, but also was with some mentors and coach to train me on a global business and global business leadership program, which is a program where the SKF actually is the highest program within SKF, where they train the top potential, and it's like once in 3 years they get 10, 11 people. So I was part of that team. That means I am part of the succession planning within us. So somehow, but I must tell you that I carry that guilt of only being mechanical diploma holders for many, many years. I had a fear of speaking English. So some of my friends helped me to overcome that. So now I am confident of speaking wrong English. I still speak, but I speak wrong English. At the same time, then I was a bit hungry to compensate my academics. So I was always ready to get more training and asking instead of promotion, salary, I was focusing on getting my hands-on knowledge. And that too, not around technicality, or I didn't want to be bearing expert, but I wanted to be a kind of a leadership expert. So I need to be around that. And that's where I choose those cautious path for my career. My life learning schools, for sure, parents and grandmother, where they put me to many things. I born and brought up in Guruwarpet, Pune. If anyone knows around Pune, they will understand what kind of a place it is. But I was completely grew up in a chawl culture. So I was with hundreds of people sleeping outside, using common toilets, washroom, till the time I was going into the college, and lived out of 2-room house, 11 people. That time, during my upcoming, there were a lot of speeches used to happen at Shaniwar Wada. And they were not political speeches, but a lot of good speeches about social things and awareness and those things. And I happened to go with my mom and dad quite often. That was kind of a learning for me. Then there was a library in Sadhana in Pune, where I used to grow up. And in my school, if you know Numavi as a school, it's in close to Upper Balwan Chowk. I studied there. I passed out 10th from there. That's where I learned. Then GB syndrome, probably Rajesh can tell on that, because he was the first person to notice me having this disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome. And that disease is basically, it attacks your nerve system and you become paralyzed. So I was kind of paralyzed for 3 months, and I was in ICU, and I have to pay a lot of money, and SCAF helped me to survive. That was a life-threatening disease. But that is where I learned to respect, I learned to understand the complexity of life, and learn to take risk in my life. So I have a huge story around it. For sure, my wife, who was at the age of 25, when I was completely paralyzed, she refused to leave me and stay with me, took care of me, made me back to the normal one. It took a hell of a time and a big struggle at that time. But I never realized that I'm going through a bad time. I just enjoyed that. My children now, as you cross 50, your kids become your guide in many ways. And I'm learning now. They put me up to the level of current generation, current things. So I don't only get and sing and hear Lata Mangeshkar and old songs, but they also make me sing Arijit and so many other things. SCAF Pune, where I learn a lot. SCAF Ahmedabad, if you can click, and then SCAF Sweden. So these are my life learning school. This is how I learn, and I constantly keep learning. Next slide. My leadership style. If you go next, is about servant leadership. And that is my style. That means it's about giving. It's about serving. And servant leadership style, I don't need to, there are various leadership style, but this one suits me to my thing, which doesn't make me behave something differently. And then stakeholder centric. And when I say stakeholder centric, it means like we have stakeholders in business, like we have our people, we have our shareholder who invest money with us, we have our customers, and we have our suppliers. Many times, in good and bad times, we want to be very good appearing to our people, and that's a good thing. We must carry that. But what I want is, you all need to be stakeholder centric, man. You must have an eye on your customers. You must respect the people who invest money in your organization. You do care for your supplier. 30, 40, 50% of value addition comes from them to your business, and you must make sure that your people stay happy. And that's where I say stakeholder centric, because if you lose that balance, you lose the perspective. And that's what I learned so far, but I started feeling it. My behavioral traits, if you look and go further, Videsha, can you click? Hello?
Yes, sir, I'm clicking, but there is no display further, so that's where I'm
Okay,
stuck.
then I do. But I have that control too. Good. Now you don't have to do. Courage.
Okay, great.
I
Yeah,
yeah yeah. I have a huge courage of doing things, and I will share why I say so. I'm very persistent, and this is over the years. I going through various aptitude tests, various tests in various leadership program. I even didn't know that these are the names to it. This. So since now I got that reports with me, I get these qualities of me displaying in front of me. But I was not knowing these are the names to it. So I'm just putting up the names which came out of those various studies consistently over years of my experience and learning with Escape Academy. I'm very proactive, sometimes visionary in a way, like I act much before things happen. I'm bold, so I the courage is still a kind of a word, or being bold is still kind of like it sounds, if you are too bold, it looks like arrogance, so I sound often sometimes arrogant, but I do believe that I'm not an arrogant person. I'm witty sometimes, and I can hurt easily. I have a good humor. This is also feedback I get, and I do sometimes overdo, and sometimes I misjudge, and I can hurt people, and I have done that many times, those mistakes, and I'm trying to still learn but it's good to be. I'm creative. I try to do. I'm not a technical person where I create new design but I am very creative in my thinking and a different perspective. I can always bring different perspective to the situation. I'm experimentative, and I will share in my Ahmedabad journey what experiment, what creation we did around there. I'm absolutely dumb guy. I don't have academics, but also I don't have enough skills. So I'm very dumb in my approach. And they say that intelligence have self-doubts, but the dumb has none. And one of the reason I succeed because I was dumb. I didn't even understood the risk, so I jumped. And you succeed. It's like Virendra Sehwag. You will not recognize him as probably one of the greats cricketer like Gavaskar or Tendulkar, but he could manage to score. He was a bit dumb to the style. He played his own game, and I relate to that a lot. I'm a very social person. I like to be with people. I like to interact. I like to experience new things, new culture. So that's what me. But end of it, I get this feedback. I'm very purposeful. So everything I do has a purpose, And this is not. I repeat, this is not. I want to portray in a way that I'm doing this, but this is what all the reports tells me. So I started now looking around it, and that's what it comes as. I'm very purposeful, and it's so important that if you are running up a business or an organization, you must write before you do anything. What is the purpose of doing this thing? So my purpose of today's meeting for you is to. I have heard a lot of things about Manish ji and Rajesh mentioned in all his articles, so I was curious. Secondly, I can't say no Rajesh, because if you believe that it can be helpful, then I must trust that it is helpful to others. At the same time, I also understand being a entrepreneur, what kind of a people we have, and I can surely. I stayed in Ahmedabad for 7 years, so I met so many business people. There's a big community I was part of as a friend, and we learn a lot. So that is my one of the purpose to be here with you all. Also share my journey, my belief. I have certain beliefs, and one belief is people are the key differentiator. And when I say this, I mean it. Like technology, it doesn't mean that you don't need to embrace technology. Technology will always be there. It's the end of the day people who create it. But technology only has a first moving advantage. So for example, if I have a great technology on digitalization, IT, OT, it is not only available to me, it is available to everyone. So there is only a first moving advantage. But end of the day, still some organizations are successful, some people are successful, because end of the day, you drive that with the quality of people you have. So they are going to be our key differentiator in personal and professional life. And then most important for me is financial wealth of an organization is meaningless if it is not helping its people, society, environment. if I am an entrepreneur, if I'm doing a business, I'm running an organization, it's not about turning it to profitability. It also must create an environment where people feel recognized, they feel wanted. It has an effect on the society and our environment. And that is what I do believe to grow. All needs to grow together, because then only business growth happens. So these are my fundamental beliefs. My career progression. I'm a managing director and a country manager at Escape Sweden since 2019. And recently I've been also asked to take care of all the clusters for business excellence and strategic process development. Now imagine the guy with no technical ability has been asked to take care of the process development in Escape for many factories across the globe. So it's about providing leadership to it, because I do know that there are a lot of talent and knowledge sitting in turning technology, grinding technology, laser technology, coolant technology, media technology. But I would provide my leadership. But for me, it's a great learning also. I would be dealing with all the technocrats around, and that would actually add a lot of knowledge to me. 2017, I came here in Sweden as a plant head. It's a big company. There are four plants. And I was asked to come here in some crisis where Sweden was struggling, and I will tell those stories during my presentation in Sweden. Before that, factory manager in Escape Ahmedabad, where I was in Ahmedabad in 2010. And there we had an investment made for one single customer, and we had a huge losses and we struggled a lot. I will come back to that. I had a background on quality, Six Sigma, sustainability. I was heading Escape India for all units for this. Six Sigma black belt, and I was also had 2 years in aftermarket sales. So I had some sales background. And then before that, in manufacturing areas in various parts, product lines. So I was in DGBB, in TRBs. I'm in Deep Groove ball bearing, taper roller bearing, hub bearing for cars. And that's where me and Rajesh worked. We had more fun than more work actually during that time, but it was fun. Any questions so far here?
I think Ajay, we are going great. So
Yeah.
we'll continue, and then we'll have questions in the end.
Absolutely. Okay. Then I had one in between, the role of a CFO. Do you know what CFO is? Anyone? CFO? Do we know what CFO is? It is a Chief Fun Officer. So I was given a task to create fun in the organization.
Not chief financial, chief fun.
No, it's a Chief Fun Officer. And I thought that since I may not be able to do good job in Quality Six Sigma, someone offered me. But it was a very visionary managing director who offered me this job. He said, I don't want people in the office to sit with their heads longer than their body and not smiling in a day. So I had to do fun in all the plants and sales offices in Escape. That was the serious job for me when everyone had fun actually, but it was a wonderful learning. I could connect to many, but we were very, very creative in that. It is fun. So in many of our plants, you can go and play golf inside the manufacturing channel. You can have a mini basketball. You have a dart where you can put my photo and hit there. So there are many fun activities we started doing around it. And it's not IT industry, by the way. It's a very, very hardcore manufacturing area. So I start then my Pune experience where I started my career. So it's about a foundation building for my professional journey. So it had a learning ground. So I learned. It has a practice ground. We practice a lot there, and it has a mistake ground. I learned a lot of mistakes, professionally, personally, we do commit mistakes. How we deal with unions. But this is the area where I learned to deal with people. I was working in assembly shop, and assembly shop that time in 1988 to 1995 was not technology driven. It was all about people driven. So you have a hell of a people there, 1,000 people doing a bearing assembly, and all your production output is surely decided by the kind of people. And at that moment, that day, how they want to work, they decide the output. But that was helping me to hone my skill, how to maximize the output, but also create an environment where trust and honesty and people are recognizable. So we did that a lot. I would say practice ground because the technology has started coming in, and then you learn to started learning more and more things about bearing technology, and that's where we did a lot of practice and experience. And mistake grounds because every day you don't know how to deal with, you don't know how to write a mail because computer started coming in this. I remember my first time with computer that every day I used to do a quality document and then I never saved it. Next day also I said something has gone wrong. I again repeated it and I never saved it. So after 3-4 attempts, someone told me, "Are you saving your things?" And then I realized, I have to save it. And so that was our struggle, even though typing with one finger, that kind of a thing. So it is all our mistakes around, but Pune was a great experience where I ended up doing a union negotiation when I grew up there. When I was asked to take lead of PRB, union came and told me it's a Kala Pani, what you are going to do. But when I left that, they said we have now a gold mine there, so it's like a sonecha dhur nigala titno tumhi tithe gelavar. And it's not about what I did differently, it's all what different people contributed to that journey. And we learned many things together, how to work in teams, but also how to face challenges, how to maximize output, how to enhance quality, how to enhance productivity, how to take cost out, how to work on your consumables, so many things, how to give competency to your people, how to migrate them from a lower competency to higher competency, how do you do a single minute exchange of dice, SMED principle resetting, how do you offline resetting towards inline resetting, and all not what we did there. So I grew up there from manufacturing person to quality person to setting up new channels for Escape. And one day one of my friends came and told me that some consultant is after him to experiment with something, and would you be interested to help him, because I don't want to have a consultant without trying it out. I say, okay, I will do that. And we had a production channel which we set up for Bajaj Auto, specifically for clutch bearing application. And the first batch we produced 5,000 rings, and we scrapped 4,999. Only one good piece. I don't know why that came good, but it came. And then we produced another batch. It was scrap 2 for the vibration. And we couldn't understand. And this consultant said that I don't come to your plant, but if you work with me and give me data, I will help you solve the problem. And one of my colleagues said, okay, can you do that? And I was in night shift then. And I say, okay. So I was just doing what this guy was telling me to do. Take the bearings, break it, paste the data, send the file to him. Every day Excel file to him. But I worked for 10 days in night shift and collected all the data because that channel was not working in night shift, so I could do a lot of work around it. After 11 days, he gave me a solution. He said, this process and this parameter is a problem in your machine. I say, So he, without knowing our process, he could find out the reason why we are failing. And then we adjusted that parameter. And next batch we produced, we had 1 scrap and 4,999 good rings. And then he said, can I come and now explain you what I did? And then he came, and that's where he introduced us Six Sigma, but he was actually doing Shannon DOE, design of experiment with the Shannon technology. And that was the knowledge. The guy who actually guided me, my friend, he took me to the management and he said that, this is the work Ajay did. And the consultant say that this is called a Six Sigma according to me. So somewhere it got stuck up in my management's mind that I have done a Six Sigma project. So when in 2000, when Escape launched a Six Sigma, it's a global initiative, all of a sudden they have to give one name in their plant, and I had that opportunity. Because somewhere in my manager's mind, I did Six Sigma project. So I went to study that abroad for 4 weeks, Six Sigma, in different months I used to go. And that was where I learned I was exposed to statistical tools. I was never a great academics. I was 80% average marks kind of a guy. Nowadays score 95, 96, and I feel so mediocre. But then I saw it's an opportunity to learn and create an impact. So I did a lot of hard work. I started learning that statistics. I went to many of my friends, understood statistics, and I passed that exam with 98.3%, which even today no one has scored that much. And I was the first certified black belt of Escape group. So then you get a certificate from CEO, your photos are hung up in the walls there, and what a pride we create ourselves. But I realized the value of knowledge there, and then I started speeding up many things. During that time, in 1993, when I got married, on the first year of my marriage anniversary, I went and played badminton, and I did many things, and I was in second shift, And then I realized that I'm not able to move my hands and legs in a way normally it moves, and I was not able to put the key into my vehicle to even start the Bajaj Kawasaki's ignition. I think Rajesh, you were there during that particular time, right? You witnessed it first probably with me. Yeah. And at that point time, I was not knowing what's happening to me. But then slowly I deteriorated within 2-3 days, and I was in ICU in Ruby Hall. And doctor took a hell of a time to diagnose it. And Dr. Pradeep Divte, who was a neurosurgeon in India, his wife was treating me, and he started treating me. 1993, there was a Bombay riot, so we have to get medicine from Germany, costing 1,68,000. I had zero money that time. And Escape used to provide only 50,000 money because that's the highest amount they used to give. So it was a lot of money then, other than medicine. It took me 3 months to recover. I was paralyzed. It was a terrible time. I was giving electric shocks. I was experimented a lot, but I managed because I never thought that I will not come out of it. And then Guillain-Barré syndrome happens one in like 10 million cases. Happens between 10 years to 20 to 30 years of age, and you get paralyzed, your eyes can go, you can lose your vision. Those were the threats, but I was not knowing it. My wife actually managed all that turbulence. My parents managed, my friends supported, people contributed a lot of money, which I am so thankful for. I can't pay that all my life if I work, the help which I got, but I survived. But that also changed my perspective towards life. I was a very, very good judo player. My aim was not to become engineer, not to become anything, but to have fun in life and play sports. And so judo, that's where then I learned that in judo you use others' power. You don't use your own power in judo. That's the fundamental of the game. I started learning how do we use but not misuse others' power, and that's where I started learning and focusing on people's ability. And it changed me a lot. I started learning cooking. I started doing so many things, and I said to myself that I would not do the same thing again. So I started changing my jobs. I started taking risk in the job. I started going to unknown areas. It would be like a scrap area. No one who wants to work in scrap area. But I said scrap is a wonderful area. Or packaging area, it's just a finished product you pack. But then you connect to many things. You just connect to yourself to the outside world, and you are close to your customer, your logistic, your shipment. You all of a sudden open a huge network for you, and I did that. So these are my experiences out of Pune. Then what happens? Like I was a manufacturing manager in Pune, leading the automotive TV PR taper roller bearing division. It was a very good situation for Pune. We did a lot of profit. Employees were getting a hell of an incentive. We had a situation. And then Escape during that time decided to set up 2 plants, one in Haridwar for ball bearing application for two-wheeler, and one in Ahmedabad that was going to be a first industrial plant of Escape in India. The reason for that plant is the wind business was growing a lot, windmill, and windmill needs a bearing. The lead time to supply those bearings were 22 months. So if anyone wants to have a product, it takes 22 months to come. So supply chain was longer, horrible, expensive. So one of the Indian, I won't take a name, but the Indian windmill manufacturer came to Sweden, and he said that if Escape sets up a plant somewhere, it will be a huge benefit. And wind market was growing in 2008-9, so we set up a plant. And that plant was mismanaged. The wind market collapsed. The Goldman Sachs came. The company who put us almost close to bankrupt. And we were standing still there. We had an attrition rate of 70%. So all the people for technology we trained in probably in Sweden or Germany, where we got machines and technology, they left us. And then company almost asked everyone to leave, and I was asked and requested to go there, and can I take the Ahmedabad plant? As I said, I was always experimenting. I never been to Ahmedabad before. On 31st May 2010, I landed in Ahmedabad with a 44-degree temperature. My family joined me afterwards, and then I was standing there with 70% people less, all the machines stand still, not knowing what to do. There were no offices. The work around the office building was going on, and we started our journey. So I went around and started recruiting people from the nearby villages in Ahmedabad. Average age today is still 21 years old there. I started recruiting engineers, handpicked them, and started putting up things. But there was no business to run. So because it was built on one single customer, one or two single product lines. Then you have to drive this big four-wheel drive truck up on the mountain with a heavy steering, and then we had a lot of problems. But this is exactly the story of people, So we recruited people and started giving them training, and we said that we will ask drawings to our group. No one was giving us a drawing. The reason is, so far all those business in India traditionally was happening for Europe, and it's like asking Turkish to vote for Christmas. That means if we help Ahmedabad, our business will grow. So within Escape also there is normally a competition, and then the factories in Europe feels that their knowledge, their business is going away from them. And that was not a management, but on the factories level where the knowledge was sitting, we had a. And then we were struggling like hell, and customer were also used to get a European product. We had a generation where the European tape recorder, European TV were like in India, it was appreciated. That was the second name of quality. And then Japan came, and Indian products were not there. So we had a job there to make this factory better than the factories we have in Escape World. We have to create trust in our customers, in our sales colleagues, in our people, that we will survive. And we had one day, we were struggling and diversifying ourselves, and that was not working. And one day the management came and told me, we were sitting in a boardroom, and they said, let's work on plan B. And plan B means close down this plant. And I don't know, when they said in front of my management team, I was quite nervous. And as you say, I am a bit witty and kind of humorous. And I said, you hired me to work on plan A. If you give me 11 months, I will turn it around, because we are getting closer and we have a plan. But if you don't do this, then hire someone else. I won't do plan B. And they went and they said, okay, we come after 10 months. And they put up a number on the board, on the wall, and say, keep posting every week, every month, how your progress. And everyone in my team was scared. There are young guys around 28, 30, getting married, having their own ambition. And then I said, look, this is a challenge for us. So anyone who wants to leave, they can think of, and I will not feel bad. But if you want to fight it out, I guarantee you that then you are not allowed to leave. Are you going to be with me? And 100% of the people said that they will be with me. And I also told them that don't worry, even if they gave us a 1 year, we will get 2 years. And the reason is, in India, it takes a hell of a time to open a plant, but it takes double the time to close a plant. And I know this plant is set up in Ahmedabad. So Mr. Modi was the chief minister, and he helped us to set up a plant, because government scheme out of Vibrant Gujarat. And then he became a prime minister. I say, it will be a hell of a call for Escape Group to decide that can we take a plant which belongs to the prime minister's state, or prime minister's village, or prime minister's city. So I said, we will get 2 years, but let's focus. Let's work. I am with you and we will. And then it's a story where we started even for a training or when we want to go outside, we use our own vehicle. We cut our own salaries by 30%. We were running canteen, but we had a land, and I said, let's grow something in the land. So we put up vegetables there. We were self-sufficient on our food. We put up some solar electricity agreements. We started working on energy. And I said, I will go and hunt business. So I started working with sales and customer and started bringing customer, and customer needs kind of assurance, because there are big bearings, one bearing cost 5 lakhs and 6 lakhs and 10 lakhs kind of a thing. And that time, like customer were also very happy to have a European product. And I promised them for a lead time, I promised them for a cost challenge and everything. We started working. We made our customer gallery. We made every operator trained on how to respect customer, how to talk to them, but also be truthful. Like, I don't want them to tell a false story. So be honest. And if you feel that something we are not doing good, keep doing it. We call employees family, gave them a safety training. We share them what we are doing. And I put up a dream for them that I want within next 5 years, my operators should come to this factory in their car. And it was a stupid thing to say when we were giving them 11,000 as a salary. Yeah? You can imagine, but I had a big dream there to make that happen. So it was a lot of hardship. But slowly business started coming. We manage our cost structure well. We stay half empty stomach, but we did that. Escape can pump money, but I wanted people to win that, And finally, we not only got investment after 11 months when the management came and we showed them the numbers, which was much better than what they expected. And then I closed the door of a board, and they were happy. And I said, this is the time. And they say, good job. And I said, no, it's not a good job. Now it's your turn, and I'm putting up a number here, and you have to assure me. And then they said, what do you want? And I said, I need these 2 investment, and this is a business case. So I can take you through business case. Give me these 2. Professional managers understand the people who work heart out and fast.
Professional managers, म्हणजे चोखा लोक चाहिए अभी सारी काम. They understand.
Hello, is there a question or comment?
Just give me a minute. I guess there's some mic disturbance. Just give me a minute. Can you unmute your mic, Ajay sir, once? I'm not able to do it from here.
Okay.
Yes, it's again correct now. It was echoing. Something was echoing earlier.
Not a problem. So where I was. So we got that investment. The professional leaders appreciate the people who put heart out, and but last time when they went out, my people were depressed. This time the entire people were very happy, including our operators, that we got investment. When you get investment, you have assurance that you will grow, and you have won the trust of the man. During that time, when we set up the plant, we were actually struggling to get a license to run. And we were submitting papers to Gujarat government, and we were not getting license. And I was not worried about not getting license. I was actually trying to find out why we are not getting license. Then I can work around it. But the file used to come rejected without any comment. That was a bit simple. And when you get that kind of a comment, you actually thinking that somewhere there is a corruption. Someone wants some money. Something has to happen. So I raised this to my corporate office, and they said, okay, we will fix with agents and so many things, but nothing happened. So, like, to run a plant without approval is a non-ethical and illegal thing, but at the same time, no one is supporting there. And I was eating a lunch, and then I get an invitation that the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Mr. Narendra Modi, wants to talk to all the industrialists at XYZ Hotel in Ahmedabad, and he will talk one-to-one. And I said, this is my opportunity, I didn't took any permission from my corporates, and because this is a political environment, why industry and those things. But I just say that this is my chance, because I already asked a lot of help from corporates. No one was able to make it. So I went to hotel where this meeting was organized, and then where I was shocked because there were thousands of people coming from Rajkot, Surat, Ahmedabad, blah, blah, blah. And I say, oh, how the hell the chief minister can talk one-to-one in thousands of people sitting on the chair? And I say, this is my chance. I need to go and get it done. And I looked at the place, and there were on the front row, there were 5 sofas were kept. And all the chief minister's team, his management team of Mr. Narendra Modi was sitting there. And I told my finance guy, I say, Prashant, keep this file with you. I'm going to sit on that sofa. And I don't care what happens, but something they throw me out, the commandos, then you have this file. So find a way to get it. And I went there and straight away sat in the middle of that sofa when there are a lot of industrial ministers like Saurav Jain and other people were there. And they looked at me, but I was so confidently sitting there. You know, I said, I am a dumb because intelligent person will not go and do that stupid thing. So they thought that probably I am saab ka aadmi ho, main idhar baitha hu. So they also shook hands with me and I sat confident. And within 10 minutes, Mr. Modi came. And then he looked at his team and he looked at me because I was the only strange person for him. So he was trying to recollect who I am and looking at me. That only ensures others that main saab ka aadmi hu, you know. And after 10-15 minutes of his presentation, there was a question-answer session, and he said, anyone wants to have a question? And I said, let me not be the first this time. I was waiting for a question, but there was a question, first question, which was just thanking Modi. And I said, I have a question, I am Mr. Naik. And I explained them that I don't get the certificate to run, a license to run. And I don't mind that probably we are not doing something right. But no one tells me what I'm not doing right. How can I correct? You lose revenue, and I don't want to do unethical thing, but I also then will not be able to do business. And we came with a lot of hope. And Mr. Modi told me, okay, Mr. Nair, he heard me Nair, and I didn't want to correct it because I said, oh, that's better. And he said, aapka kaam ho jayega. And gave it to file to Mr. Sahu. Mr. Sahu was the industrial labor person there. And then the question answer went on after 1 hour. And after 1 hour, when it got finished, after 1 hour, this chief minister came to me. And after 1 hour also, he was remembering my name. And he said, Mr. Naik, give the file to Mr. Sahu. He will do that one. And he said, Khana kha ke jayega. There was a high tea. And I said, yes, sir. And I went for a high tea and standing in a queue, everyone wants to meet him. And he sat on his table and he looked at me and asked someone to get me back. And I said, oh my God, now I will have a big trouble because I asked, offended in a big forum to a person who is the chief minister there. Everyone around him is aware of, they are all industry owners. I am the actually employee of one escape company. I will have to pay a price for it. You know, they will ask me to pay for fund up, 4-5 lakh idhar jayega. Or something, they will be probably a problem for me. And he said that, Modi साहब ने आपको बुलाया है. And when I went, he said, खाना लेके आइएगा आपके लिए, बैठो यहाँ मेरे साथ खाओ. And I was more worried. And he said, very sorry to hear that you are struggling for starting a business, but you will get that certificate. Okay, कैसे हो, क्या हो, and all those things. And I said, Modi ji, can I have a photograph with you? And he said, can I know why? I say, you know, where I have a factory which is 35 kilometers away from Ahmedabad, the villagers sometimes can very much nuisance. I promise you that I will use this influence in a right way. I will not misuse it. And he said, okay, take a photo. So that is the photo actually. You will see I have in my slide somewhere. Yeah, that was a photo. And that happened and I came back. And next day I got a call from one IAS officer, Mr. Shah, and he said, "Kal aapne saab ke sath kya baat ki? Can you come to Gandhinagar?" And I said, "Oh my God, now this is another way of taking money from me." So I went there. They said sorry to me. They gave me license to run for 5 years. They explained me what was wrong with us, but they said that is not serious. You can correct it, but you get a license. Normally they gave license for 3 years. I got it for 5 years. And after that, 2 years, 3 years, no one from government came for money, no one for anything. I'm not a political person. I don't follow any political party. But first time I see government running, like I've seen corporates running like government, but first time I saw government running like corporates. There was not a single thing. In my entire professional journey, I know you are an industrialist, many sitting here, you believe that there is nothing where you have to pay money, then only things happen. I can tell you, in my life, I have paid only 10 rupees to one police wala when I was dating my wife and he caught me on it without license on two-wheeler. And once 100 rupees when I was having my car to one person. Other than that, in my entire life, I never given a bribe for my personal and professional. So these are the beliefs. If you start working around with your own work ethics and principle, I don't think everything gets followed there. After 2-3 years, I got a call from the same IS officer, and he said, "Are you still there?" Yes. We need your help. And then the help was to connect them to Sweden because they run a Vibrant Gujarat Summit where they wanted to invite Swedish companies. And then I gave those connect to them. So this journey continues, and I then met Mr. Modi also in Bombay where we had a stall, and then I met him on Vibrant Gujarat. I introduced him, but there was never a demand, never a thing. And the last thing I met him when he was in Stockholm in Sweden, and he gave his connect to his Make in India proposal because my CEO was with us, and he said, Mr. Modi, they and our CEO gave a lot of insight to Mr. Modi how the structure, what government should do. So we were very tough on him. At the same time, he said, I like India so much that I have even my India CEO, Sweden CEO, I got it from your village, Ahmedabad. And so that's the connect. Like even our CEO was there to talk with him. So we are demanding a lot from Indian government if Indian government wants to invest in India. So this is our journey. On the people front, I have came across many our people who have 21, 22 years of experience, and they felt so committed to work for Ahmedabad. They take care of their machine, they clean their floors themselves, they run the machine. You don't need to put supervisors to make people work. They know what business orders are there. People will not go without making that order. And when I left, I had 5 people coming with the car in that company. And now every time there is a car, I get a call from those people. During the same time, I got a Times award for a great manager. SCAF recognized me for my work in Ahmedabad twice as a best leadership award. So there are some recognition also happened. And most of the time when it happens, it was always because of these people. So I owe a lot to these people in Ahmedabad. The cultural part of Ahmedabad, the entrepreneurial mindset, I can share you some of the stories. And I learned from the story. I was staying in a good area in Ahmedabad, and I had many business friends, and my neighbor was a big businessman, very big businessman, and he was having almost a floor there. And once I met him in the lift at 10 o'clock in the night, and I said, "Rashmin bhai, why are you so late today?" And he said, Ajay bhai, वो क्या है ना कि जो एक मशीन आया था, तो वो मशीन फिक्स करना था। ऐसे कब आया मशीन? नहीं, वो आया दोपहर 3 बजे आया, एंड अभी पहला पीस निकल गया सर, अभी तो चालू हो गया चक्की। And I got it shocked because in my company, when we set up a channel, we keep the machine one day, then take the boxes out, mark layout and everything. And this guy started the machine and started generating revenue out of it. I'm sure the safety rules and regulation and something, but I can't talk on that, whether it was there or not. But it gave me experience, and I went back and said that we are getting a new channel from Italy to our factory for our railway business investment. I want that channel to be started within 7 days. Historically, we used to, and the channel is not a one machine, a series of machines, where 20-25 machines, connections, electricity, drawing, painting, testing, tooling, production trials, so many things are involved. I said, this is a target, we want to do it in 7 days. Everyone took that target, and we started that entire channel in 5 days and started generating. The first sample, we called railway to come and inspect, was within 5 days. So, the people has enormous power when you are able to inspire them in a right way, trust them, and also challenge them to do better. So I had a wonderful experiences in Ahmedabad, and that is my experience. Any questions so far here? Okay. Then I go to Sweden. So 2017, Sweden is our mother company. So we have around like many things. That net sales, it's 2020 numbers I put right now as of today, and that was 2018 numbers. So you will see a mistake in there. But we have in Sweden, I'm not talking Escape Group. It is about only Escape Sweden as a country. It's 8,000 million SEK. So 8,000 million into 8.2 is you will get in Indian rupees. We are around 3,100 employees here. We have all the sites. These are the names of the sites where they are. We make spherical roller bearings, car, housing, transmission, seals, actuator, machine health condition monitoring system, silicon nitride powder, chemicals, and many other applications. We have a big distributors, approximately 20 niche distributors within industrial and automotive. So this is what we are doing in Sweden. If I want to share you where our offices and factories are, that's where I sit here right now, Gothenburg. But we have factories. Sweden is a very long, tall country. Width-wise, it's a slim country. So this takes like this is up north, and we have a lot of facilities around everywhere. So when I came here, it was 2017. We had invested in SAP, and we had also invested in first digitalized world-class manufacturing channel. And we planned it, but they failed here in SAP, but at the same time to ramp up this first world-class channel. And there was a crisis. And at the same time, market started growing up. So it was way beyond the stock we kept. We thought that we will manage everything in 2 months, and we kept a stock of 3 months. But we took a long time, and the SAP didn't work. So we were in chaos, and management changed everyone, and they were searching a person who can come and change this mother factory. So in 2017, somehow they find me. Imagine the production we do in Ahmedabad is around 2.5 million Indian rupees. That we do here in 4 days. That's the scale. But leadership is not about how big or small business you run, it's how you run. And they asked me to come. And this is my mother factory. Me or Rajesh or everyone in Escape would look this as a mother factory, our corporate office. We have a huge attachment, and I say, my mother calling, I must come. So I came here in 2017. And here, if you want to work here, you also need unions approval. So there are 4 unions. We have engineers union, white collar union, blue collar union. And they said, how can a guy coming from a developing place to work for such advanced place? So what is that special he will have? So they said, can we interview him before we hire him? And management set up an interview for me. And I say, I will not come and give interview, but I will come, travel there and meet you. I had a valid visa, so I came and met them in 2017. I actually finally came here in August, but then they asked me, what do you do differently here? I introduced myself. I carried the books of Mahatma Gandhi, my experiments with truth. I carried the story of Ahmedabad, and I said, this is why. They say, why you are coming here? And my answer was, this is my mother factory. Mother ability of a mother is to give always. Mother is very selfless character. And I grew up in Escape for 28, 30 years then to look at my mother. And my mother is calling, because mother is giving all the time. We have grown now in 96, 110 factories in 70 countries. And mother is weaker now, and she needs some of the kids to come back. And I want to come and work for it. And they say, okay, we understand that, but what are you going to do differently here? I say, I don't have any skills to do differently, but together with you, we can think of many different things if you allow me to work. And I say, I come from a land of curry and land of Mahatma Gandhi, and you have a mid-ball, but a great innovative culture where you have a Nobel Prize. You have all the innovation in the world happening out of this place, right from zip, pan zip, to thermometer, to H&M, to many things. So let us make a mid-ball curry, and we would ensure that it tastes good. They liked it. They said, let's do that experiment, because they're 106 years plant, They have tried everything. Technology is developed here, knowledge is developed here and passed on. So they have tried everything, but sometimes the complacency comes in. Sometimes they also need to change. They also need to see the Asian market is growing, and with the same kind of a cost structure, you cannot grow. So we need to bring the ambition. So today, Sweden is not earning money. The operating margin was close to 1%. And they need a change, but they couldn't do that with the Swedish leadership style. So they wanted someone else, and they said, okay, let's do that. So I was there, and then I started my journey. And from that day till today, our operating margin has grown up by 1 to 25%, 24%. Our employee have a huge pride and trust. We are one of the best performing plant in Escape World. We have a fantastic team, and I have to do many changes and many things here. Knowing that thing, they offered me the managing director position. So I am the first non-Swedish person in 110 years, or non-European, non-Swedish person. They even never had a non-European person to lead this. I was asked to meet King of Sweden. I was asked to meet the big business families in Sweden, like we have Tata, Birla, Wallenberg, those families. They asked me, and to me, as humble as they are. So there is a huge exposure which has come to me, but the fundamentals for me still remain the same, that people are the key differentials, and the financial wealth of an organization is meaningless when it is not helping. So I fundamentally followed that. We created a step-up program for our blue-collar worker to get a new competency. We reduced 300 people, but even union congratulated me for reducing 300 people because of the way we adopted. So there was a lot of win-win we created to manage our cost structure. We became very, very proactive, and that's a huge journey. But this society, now if we are looking at India, and if I want to compare with Sweden, this society is fundamentally very, very good. Extremely, extremely mature society. I will share my insight of Sweden. In between, there is a word called lagom, and I will not explain you this word, but I want you to search this on Google and find out. And I will come back to that afterwards. Not now, don't go back. So what I learned in Sweden, punctuality and time is value. And when I say time is value, everything happens out of calendar. The time is respected. Even you are 1 minute late, it is not accepted. So you have to tell if you are 1 minute late as a message that I am on my way, I am late. It is so calendar driven. It's such a wonderful culture. Very, very disciplined. People will do things as they promise. Very, very disciplined, what I saw. Very inclusive. And like I am the example, like they accepted a foreign leadership coming out of India. And and I love them, and they love me more than I love them. Innovation is very fundamental to Sweden. They have so many, if you travel to this country, they have the trust to keep their people and innovation. In this pandemic, Sweden is the only country which has not locked down. Entire world cribbed about Sweden. They had 0 death rates now. At the same time, the earlier phase when they lost people, that was an old age home where most of the people died who are above 91, 92. And all of them were supposed to die in 6 to 8 months' time. But because of the old age home, they were already isolated, but the workers who worked there caught it, and that was before Sweden could realize it. There are 100% ICUs today are empty. There is no one. People go out, they follow distance, but no one wear mask. Every day we talk about Corona and situation, but there is a very good control on that. Equality is a very, very equal society, and a respect for women is enormous. We have a goal to create positions, and we are in the industry, manufacturing industry, we have 35% female working. My 45% team is female, leading business development, finance, to manufacturing, quality is by female. So it's a wonderful society, very, very equal. And the way they treat women and the way women treat men is amazing. Consensus. This society is not like they build consensus, that means they discuss and agree. It is not in like India, the hierarchical culture where boss is always right, even he or she is an idiot. and we respect so much to position, power, and everything. It's not like that. They build work-home balance. The priority is to family first, then come work. It doesn't mean that work becomes secondary. It's a huge balance of work and home. People take care of the families. They don't have labor to do their job. They work hard, but they make it myself. And the entire country is a fitness freak. So I also got rubbed that habit, and I reduced 18 kg of my weight since last 10 months. So this is the impact of Sweden on me. The no hierarchy culture, because then may not be the best, but the most agreed decision goes forward. Respect for what you do and who you are, and not your position or title. Most of the culture is team-based and discussion-oriented, and coaching and mentoring, and not directive kind of. So this is what the story about Sweden. Coming back to a business climate, some insight on that. One is like, in the current situation, I must tell you that preserve your cash. Cash is king. And still don't forget your growth mindset. These are the two important things I would like to share with you. It has a global impact on GDP. It has like compared to previous crisis, service sector is mostly hit a lot. We expect slight recovery in global market in Q3, Q4. Recovery is like, and the reason is like most of the government have given packages, so it will also fade out. How can the government keep doing that? Recovery is broadly forecasted for 21, but not close anywhere to 2019 or 18. The impact on industries. So the green side is where it is low exposure, construction, defense, packaging, pharmaceutical, food. That high exposure is basically, you can see the travel and service and automotive industry. And moderate is beverage, chemicals, and manufacturing. So there is a lot of information around this slide, but I am just trying to give you the glimpse of it. I won't talk about COVID. You get a daily data update. Possible global trends post-COVID, and it would have been anyway happened. Only thing with COVID, it is happening a bit faster. Technology will change, remote working as we are doing, e-commerce, online, digitalization. Macroeconomics, high global debt rates, less private and company spending. Geopolitics, you are already seeing more protectionism, reshaping of global economic powers, new alliances. You see that increasing gap between developed and developed countries. And social rioting will probably happen. Industry reconfiguring supply chain, consolidation, right sizing, disinvestment, delayed investment. On consumer confidence, fear increase, unemployment rate will be high, less disposable income, changes in social life, regulation, new privacy law, more restrictions on public life. So that is already happening. Here I will not explain, but here you will see which are the areas: commercial, aerospace, air and travel, oil and gas, automotive and insurance carriers, how much they have got affected with this pandemic. This is the thing. This is more micro data, business climate in countries, areas. I won't share that document. But do you know VUCA world? You know, VUCA world is very, very volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So this is the world we are operating today. Everything is volatile, uncertain, getting complex, very, very ambiguous. But we have ourselves, like things we must do, which is in our control of influence. And we create a vision, understanding, clarity, and agility. So we stay focused, we fight this out. We are humankind. We have always faced these challenges. We will fight it out together and remain hopeful and preserve your cash, focus on inventory reduction, be opportunistic, and develop the mindset for growth. So that's what I want to offer. So I just, for a time's sake, I want to stop and offer you the question and answer, a feedback.
Ajay, that was fantastic. बहुत ही बढ़िया. The way you went about presenting the entire your thought process. I was thinking about it that जो आपका presentation था right from the beginning, the way it was structured, the way it was clearly taken care of in terms of one segment and second segment. So it reflects a lot about the way the mind works. So I think since I've seen many presentations over the last so many years, I think this was one of the most बोलते ना एक सुलझा हुआ presentation था. तो हर चीज एक स्टेप बाय स्टेप आ रही थी और बड़े अच्छे ढंग से आपने कनेक्ट किया. And the best thing I liked about the whole thing is the dumb part, and how that dumbness of yours made you sit in that front sofa, which got you the attention of Mr. Modi. And that was such a wonderful story of what boldness is all about. So you spoke about कि आपकी जो qualities हैं उसमें से एक quality है bold, being bold. And though it's not arrogance, though it hovers around, लोगों को शायद दिखता होगा, but definitely boldness is a lot different than being arrogant. And it was because of boldness that you could get the attention of Mr. Modi there. So there are quite a few questions, and it's so wonderful that we have people who have their questions lined up. I will just go through a few questions so that आप उसको answer कर पाओ. So one is somebody has caught on, Kishore Keshwani has caught on the CFO part of yours, the Chief Fun Officer, and he says, can you give us some examples of what you did with your shop floor frontline operations? So Kishore has got his own unit with 100 plus people. I'm just, I don't know, maybe 100, more than 100 plus people. So he has this question about the shop floor वालों के लिए आप क्या करते हो to create some fun?
And I actually understand when you want to organize something for your shop floor operators, it is such a complex thing, because then you need to plan your production schedule. Probably you need to spare some time. If you want on Saturday, Sunday, you need to organize food, everything. I didn't do all that. You know, I leave it to people I just gave them a ground to play. But what we did actually, in various areas in canteen and manufacturing area, we put up a small golf things or a dart things or a basketball plus with plastic. And I say, whenever you feel bored, not being creative, just go and play that ball and keep it back there, a puzzle games, So we created that inside the manufacturing where the work doesn't stop, but the efficiency of work goes up. And we did that, and then we used to have surprise prizes. If you're working in office, we created a mascots, and those mascots are with knowing the different age. Young people have a very vibrant mascot. Old people have with a nice glass spec and a very wisdom-oriented person. And that person used to appear on the screen and say, hey, what are you doing now, Mahesh? Let's have some chat, just to get them out of their monotony and do that. And then we started building clubs, because we started connecting factories and selling it. A trekking club in Mumbai area, Pune area, Bangalore area. We started creating food things. In Ahmedabad, I did one thing that every month, me and my management team cook food going into the canteen. So we go early, we cook food. And when all operator comes, we serve them, because that's what we wanted to serve, that say thank you to you, because we were not able to give them money. We were not earning money. But we said that we cook food for them and serve them and say that, one day will come that you will have your car, you will have money, we will all grow. And it happened. So there are many things which we did. In the nearby village, we went and gave them English knowledge. And we were studying on Saturdays, going there and giving 1 hour English lecture to all the kids to give them a habit of speaking. Many things we did.
Great. हमारे नितिन शाह है from Sangli, and he says it was
भाई केम छो मजा में.
So नितिन बोल रहे हैं कि it was great hearing, it was such a wonderful story, and the good part is that it will finish, but if you could get another 1 hour, ये story चलती रहे, and I'm sure there's so much more. So
I this professional position puts me into a lot of restrictions, which I hate. I'm like kind of open, not a tamed animal. I feel like going out and do the real stuff. So I have a lot of stories, and we will share on personal way in many ways. I have a lot of stories to share.
Great. एक क्वेश्चन ये भी है और मेरे मन में भी था. I don't know if I heard it right. जो ऑपरेटिंग मार्जिन्स थे अजय जी, आप from 1% you took it to 24-25%.
Yes,
so that happened in how much time, and a few quick points जो आप बता सकते हो हम लोगों को.
Okay, when in 2017 the operating margin by August it was 1%. 2020 we are at 25%, but this 20 plus we are operating since last 8 months. So we had achieved this in 19 months.
Wow.
And we had a plan, we had a plan to take the performance up because we were still in the growing market. So the one thing helped us that the market was growing and we have a demand supply challenge. So we focused on that. I went to all the shifts and took a lot of samples and talking to people and explained them why it is important. I kept my management in all the 3 shifts, but not to question people, but just to help them. So there was no reporting of people what they are doing, but to help them understand what we want to do and get that. On the technological front, we make our investment work with all the task force working around that. We went to union and say that we will have to take cost out. So we worked on our IDM where we said that why to have a cleaning agency to clean when we have a beautiful shop floor and automation going on, why don't we clean ourselves? So they started cleaning their own things. We cut down our expenditure because, many times I said, don't do a time-based maintenance, do a real maintenance. That means every calendar year you have to do a treatment, breakdown changes, change the brakes, change the robots and everything. I said, if you do preventive maintenance and start measuring, you don't need to give that service cost to others. Then we had a comprehensive material cost reduction plan. And we worked with our supplier on allowances. We work on supplier on specification. We work with our suppliers on tolerances. So you also have to take care of your suppliers' profitability. You can just put up a demand and say that reduce cost by 10%, I will find someone else. Or make work what you already have, because developing another supplier is also a big cost. It takes a time in a bearing industry. So we did that. We had a supply chain where we said that which are the customer which can be with us with a lead time development. So many customers are ready to pay money, but they want bearings when they want, in 3 months, 2 months. So we cut down our lead time from 6 months to 3 months and got that business from competition. So there are many activities we did. So we were focusing on many priority things to get costs down. And one team was constantly holding sales and business side customer together.
Great. And that's, I think, the right mix जो आप बोले थे ना, curry का जो एक flavor है. So I think that's what you brought to what they already had.
And only control, we said that every success. So this is what I go on shop floor and say, have you cut the cake today? In India, I used to say something else. Vada pav laya kya? But here I said, have you cut the cake today? And say, but why we should cut the cake? I say, I want you to cut the cake. But why? I say, I don't know why, but you find a reason to cut the cake. Instead of asking why you are producing or not producing, when you say cut the cake, they understood that if you achieve targets, we can cut the cake. And the choice is not given to manager. I said, you as operators should decide to cut the cake, order from the canteen, and you have to tell the reason. And we clap. You can imagine we are cutting hundreds and hundreds of cake here because people understood what I'm saying. Rather than, so the trust has its own policy. Then we said that let's create a thank you culture. So we have each one has a thank you card in our box, and we go, and when we see someone cleaning the machine, when we see someone lifting it properly, when someone is creating a safe environment, we immediately write a thank you card and give it to them. We started displaying their birthdays everywhere. We invited their families to see, because when you invite family, employee wants to show the workplace where their parents or mom and dad work, and they keep it clean too. And then you give them a sandwich and a tour. It doesn't cost you, but you get a lot of things back. So many such ideas we deployed in the thing. In Ahmedabad, every morning people come, first thing they do is exercise. Second thing they do is a safety oath. Then third thing they do is a manager giving them a today's information, what customers orders we have. Everyone is on the same page, So the bus, Ahmedabad to factory, it takes 1 hour to travel. In the bus, we run every new movie, but in between there is quality training, safety training. So we cut down our safety, our training time, and use our 1 and 2 hours coming back to use for various training. Someday I used to go and sing a song, but then also tell them a story what we want to do. So many things we did.
Great. ये point जो है, you were speaking about you making them clean the shop floor or taking care of their own cleanliness. Now they're used to certain agencies coming and doing it. So making them accept something which they were not supposed to do. Did it happen just like this, or you had to played some role?
No, I have to work for 7 months. And I said, the time will come where market will go down. Before COVID also, we were thinking that market will get a downturn. I said, let us prepare, because I don't want to come and say you lose people, because you also lose competency. So you don't have to look people as a head count, but you have to look them as a heart count. So you lose competency. But it's an unfortunate thing you have to take. So I had a very transparent relationship with union. And I said, we have to make a plan to get 200, 300 people out in a very structured way. So we worked on that. Coming back to the cleaning part, I said, now when we invest in robotics, then your competency shift will have to happen. So I have hired you not because you have hands and legs. I have hired an operator because you have brain. So I want you to use the brain cautiously. And that's where we started journey. I said, I will give you industrial cleaning robots. So we have now small robots where they clean the little bit things, but behind the machine where operator goes and clean, because they also get a parallel support. And I have not created an incentive scheme because I said cleaning is everything. So I don't want to pay money for it. I want you to take this as your. I say, have you come to office without a shower today? They say no. I say same thing for machine. You don't get paid for getting shower, right? You will only smell if you don't get the shower. So I say, why do I pay you to make you look nicer? You don't get paid. So there are many dialogues, but you have to have a constant dialogue and trust. So union trust us a lot, and they are the one. By the way, the union sits on the escape board's board. So the power to union is so high that they sit on board of escape group. That means any given point of time, they have more information than me, what's happening in the business. So I have to be very, very honest also. And I get to learn from them rather than I tell them. But they understand what I'm trying to do and how I make escape bigger and growing here. So we are growing, even in pandemic, COVID, we will be growing 7% than last year.
Wow.
So it is not affected. We supplied globally every opportunity wherever there was a chance we supplied. And that's where the message to everyone that next year also I want to grow by 7%. So we will present that on 15th of October, how we would grow on this business. Now, when you grow, you create an opportunity for employment too.
This is so awesome and so very inspiring. So very inspiring to listen to the way you are taking charge of things and the way you have made a place for yourself. This doesn't happen like this. 3 years time you have been there. So making a place for yourself, I think, and getting the trust from all the members.
Yeah, that is the journey, because I wanted to be very, very honest. So I don't tell, there is not a political environment I get into anything. If I do a mistake, I just go and say sorry, and I say I didn't understood this. I even don't give excuse that your laws I don't understand. I already told them that I will make mistake. The only thing you can tell me. So it's a very, very, very transparent environment we have created.
Great. And I think more or less the questions have been taken care of. There's one question in EV automobile, number of moving parts will be minimum compared to the current automobile IC engine and diesel engine. How to utilize facilities? This is one question.
What is the question? Can I have that?
In the electric vehicle, the number of moving parts will be minimum. That's the first part of the question, compared to the current automobile IC engines which we have. So how do we utilize our facilities, which are, I assume the question says that.
I understand that, you will not have a growth because the fundamentals of car industry is changing. They are becoming lighter, lesser. So how do I grow? And the solution can be many. I'm not the experts of that kind of industry, but I know that when you focus from product mindset to service mindset, you start thinking differently. Your offering to customer has to change and has a lot of value addition. You must take your digitalization journey in that and be part of that customer needs and understood the need differently. Since we are used to have a volume business, we exploit temporary workforce and we make margin bit differently. That is not going to help you, because volumes will be a bit different. So you need to be innovative and finding the right ways and business model for you. At the same time, you need to be not there in customer's mind when customer wants your product. You need to be in customer's mind when customer starts thinking about developing something new. You should be there. We have to check, have we created that kind of image of our brand, of our thing, that we can be flexible to changing customer needs. So it's a long journey, and it's going to affect. The consolidation will happen. Some of the industries which we are serving will be wiped out. You cannot have all the eggs in one basket. You need to be either diversified or either innovative, creative, and add your product plus a lot of services and solutions to customer. You need to be very, very close to customer. We need to learn to do business at customer side rather than out of offices and negotiations. Hello?
Ajay sir, I believe there is some problem with the mic.
Is it my mic or?
No, it is MG sir's mic. Just give me a minute, sir.
Okay, not a problem. Yeah. It just gives me time to drink water.
Sorry, I got logged out. Hello.
Yes, I listen to you.
Yes. Sorry, I just got logged out, and I'll be back here. I'm now operating from Vidisha's camera. So we had this is I think the time is there 7:30, and thank you so much for your valuable time all the way from Sweden. And though we have a few questions lined up, but then I think from all the entrepreneurs here, it was one of the most awesome sessions we have had in our forum for the last many months. And it never felt कि आप नहीं हो साथ में. I felt that you are a part. आप सामने ही बात कर रहे हो. And the entire way of presenting, like I said earlier, एक storytelling format में. और जैसे मैंने बोला कि आपके presentation से मालूम पड़ता है कि आपकी thought process जो है कितनी structured है और कितनी सुलझी हुई है. And so thank you on behalf of all the entrepreneurs, of all from all the forum members here. Thank you for taking our time.
And thank you very much. You can also watch a podcast which I just did recently, if you want to know more, on LinkedIn, which is there. I also see one of my friend Mahendra Patel somewhere here. He wrote me, probably the same Mahendra Patel. But nice to have you here, Mahendra, and I wish you all the best. Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, Manish ji, and thank you everyone. In a volatile time, I'm sure you are a brave guys. You have the courage to set up your business. You will just take it forward. All the best to you.
Thank you so much, and we are very proud of the work which you're doing there in Sweden.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you, ji. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
God bless. God bless.